I have the honor of introducing Tyrell, who has some family members here. Tyrell is going to be returning to Foothill in the fall as a computer science student. And Tyrell interned also at SLAC, the National Laboratory Accelerator, with Nicole Neveu, and his project that he'll present on is Optimize, Minimize, and Operate. It's all yours, Tyrell.
All right.
Yeah. I was going to say you need to unmute, so you did.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Tyrell Baker. I'm a second-year computer science student, and I'm delivering this presentation on behalf of the Science Learning Institute at Foothill College and in partnership with Stanford SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory. Most people have heard of particle accelerators before, usually in passing, but save a healthy respect for the cool sounding name, have no idea what they actually do. Most picture an inaccessible, superpowered machine that scientists use for experiments, which is true to an extent. They definitely have their laboratory uses, and those are our focus for this afternoon. But interestingly enough, 97% of accelerators are purposed commercially for things that probably hit a lot closer to home than particle physics. Accelerators are used for things like cancer treatment, radiological advancement, drilling, and plastics creation. No matter how any particular accelerator is used, though, there are some fundamental truths. They're extremely expensive to build, to maintain, and to run. SLAC is run under the guidance of the United States Department of Energy. So what that means is it's funded by taxpayer dollars. So time is quite literally money. There's a problem, though. Accelerators can be miles long, so obviously they're complex machines with a wide utilization spectrum. Ergo, each of these requires a different tune or setting. Tuning is a complex task, and when done by hand, it's time-consuming and prone to human error. And remember, time is money. So to ensure scientists spend their allocated accelerator time on experiments and not on tuning, software engineers develop optimization programs. When I say optimization, I simply mean switching from one program to another, from one group of settings to another in the quickest way possible so that various types of research can be done quickly without sacrificing accuracy or precision. At SLAC, an in-house application to do this already exists, and that application is called XOpt. XOpt allows for the handling and switching of very advanced optimization operations with very little input from the user. In order for any algorithm to be handled, however, XOpt has to know it, and that's where my work this summer comes in. I was responsible for connecting XOpt and a minimization algorithm called Nelder-Mead in a way that allowed the algorithm to be understood by the application. The issue, though, is that Nelder-Mead is written within the constraints of a Python library that's called SciPy. And since almost nobody knows what that means, I'll use an analogy here. Anyone who's ever used a MacBook Air has probably at some point run into the issue of needing to use a device that has a regular USB plug-in, but the MacBook Air only has USB-C plugins. Your solution then is to either purchase a brand new machine or to use a converter. You can think of XOpt as our internal converter, but in order to use it, I had to split the Nelder-Mead algorithm into two parts. A generator, which contains all the information pertinent to the what, the points to be evaluated each time the program runs and how they should be passed through the code, and an evaluator, which says to the program, this is what I need you to do with that information, and then it takes the information and passes it to XOpt. It's much easier to conceptualize on a flow chart because otherwise I would have to spend the rest of our afternoon explaining to you this Python syntax, and trust me, no one cares about it but me. Ultimately, I was able to create and run the generator and evaluator. Here, you can see a graphical representation of the code that you saw on the previous page. We start here at the topmost number, and the algorithm finds the minimum here, the bottommost number. And again, to avoid getting bogged down in the details, a very high-level overview and a much cooler representation of what's happening here is this. The algorithm's job is to take the minimum of an objective function in multi-dimensional space, ideally in as few iterations as possible. In English, what that means is, right down here is a teeny tiny triangle. If the next number we look at is better than the number that we have, the algorithm flips the triangle and continues to do so until we reach the minimum here at the top. Nelder-Mead is the first of the SciPy algorithms to be converted into the generator form for XOpt, but it won't be the last. This is a truncated list of the algorithms that still need to be converted. And as the algorithms are added to XOpt, they can be tested by Badger, which is the application that serves as the connection between the algorithms and the actual machine. So there's still a ton of work to be done. This internship, without a doubt, is the crowning jewel in my college journey thus far. Traditionally, I'm more familiar and comfortable with Java as a programming language. So having to work in Python really challenged my understanding of the fundamentals of programming. Additionally, my ability to read and follow through code has been bolstered beyond anything I could have imagined. And I also learned that time is not unlimited, so we have to focus. Mistakes happen, bugs pop up, but what's most important is to stay focused on the next most important thing. Every step in the engineering process relies on the one that came before it. Although I probably won't choose to work in a physics laboratory, the internship affirmed my passion for computer science. I get to do something that I love for a living, and that's solve puzzles. Thank you so much to the Foothill Science Learning Institute for funding and supporting this internship, to Marissa, Sophia, and Steve for ushering me through the process with grace and understanding, to Slack University, and to Nicole Neveu for welcoming me, for teaching me and helping me form connections. And words really can't express how grateful I am to Dr. Sarah Miskovich. She put in countless hours with me. She answered every question quickly, had patience and understanding, and I feel as though I gained both a mentor and a friend. And I cannot finish this without thanking my absolutely wonderful wife, whose name is also Sarah, for making it possible for me to undertake this internship. And she's been an absolute superhuman taking care of our kids while I coded for hours on end. Thank you, I love you, and thank all of you for attending.
That's amazing. Thank you.